Alright, how's it going, everybody? My first gardening video, and pardon some of the mess because I'm not the cleanest gardener, but I'll start over here, kind of give everybody a tour. Got some pineapple growing here, and then I got a ton of aloe. A ton. Look at this. That big old, this thing here used to be a water fountain, and now it's a giant aloe colony. And I got some here. This right here, I just pulled out a pup from here and I put it in here, and now it's about to explode out of that pot there. It's crazy. Wish I could get people to buy it. And I have here some of my trees. Here's a fig tree. It's a brown turkey fig. This is a mango that I actually started from a pit. I was surprised that it actually grew, but it grew fairly quickly. And then here's a starfruit tree, and it's one that I started from a seed. This one's smaller. I have a bigger one out in my food forest area, which I'll show you. And then this here is a black sapote, or chocolate pudding fruit tree. And these trees are just sitting here now waiting for me to put them out. I was waiting until fall when it got a little bit, well, it is fall now, but it's not really cooler here. I'm in Central Florida. It's not cool. It won't be cool, for a while. So, and got some ginger. Funny thing about this ginger here is I had ginger growing in a pot, and this was probably this time or a little bit later last year, and I took it and just stuck some in the ground out here. I just hacked away at some of these weeds and stuck it in the ground and said, well, let's see what happens. That's how I usually garden anyways. And it just died. It was gone. And so I figured, well, there goes that. And then about late spring this year, I noticed over here in these weeds, and they were not as short because I've been keeping them shorter since the ginger's here. All of a sudden I saw something that looked more like this here. I mean, what is that? That doesn't look like any of these weeds over here. So I went over and I think I pulled a blade off and smelled it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the ginger. I thought it was dead. And it came back rather big. So I'm hoping it'll die back again once we start getting cold snaps here. And I'm hoping that next year it'll just get even bigger. And I don't know if you can see that little hoverfly. Over here, got a passion fruit vine that I took. I have an uncle-in-law who had some passion fruit vine, and he knew I wanted to grow some, so he let me come take a cutting, and I took several cuttings, and I ended up getting rid of most of them. They take so easy, you don't really have to worry about it. It's in our climate anyways, they take really easy. And so this was once a cutting. It was probably, well, that's all tangled up. It was probably about this big where my fingers are, up to the top, maybe. And I just planted it. I don't even remember if I used rooting hormone. I just planted it in pots, and I did a little greenhouse thing where you take a Ziploc bag, put it over the pot, put a rubber band around it, and you keep it so it's almost like a little miniature greenhouse. It helps things root, and then once they're established, you can take the bag off. Just keeps the soil moist. But yeah, and now it's growing. I have a old clothesline poles here, and I took a rope and tied it to it, and it's going down the rope. And then on the other side of the clothesline pole here, I've got a giant Spanish needle, but that's not what I'm showing you. This here, this is a winged yam, and it's growing up. It's trying to grow into this rain tree here. I don't really care. I'll just let it do whatever it wants. I was wanting it to go up the pole, over, and then onto the rope and come down this side, but it decided not to do that. I tried to make it do that, and it decided not to. But whatever, it can do what it wants. And here in Florida, these things right here grow like weeds. It's just, I mean, when I first planted it, I watered it religiously, fertilized it, did all that sort of stuff. But since the summer came and our rains started, I haven't done anything to it. Haven't fertilized it, haven't watered it, haven't anything. I haven't even hacked the weeds away from it. And look at it. You can see some bugs have eaten out of it, but it doesn't care. So that's that. And then over here, these gigantic things here that are probably 12, 13, let me get under the rope here, 12, 13 feet tall. These giant things here, that's my cassava. I bought some canes off of, I think I got them off of eBay or something. You can see right there, that's the cane that I buried, and it sprouted off the side and came up here. And these things are huge. Again, I took good care of them at first when they were small, and then when they got big, and then our rains came, I haven't done anything. I haven't fertilized them, I haven't watered them, I haven't done anything. And they're taller than my house. And once it starts getting cold, I'm gonna have to cut them back, and because they'll die back anyways. So I will pick back up in the food forest.